Hey, I am here with my friend Cathy. And Cathy and I have worked together for about 4 years on her hormones, on her journey. And I would like to just have her share what has happened in the last few years that we've worked together, and tell us maybe like a little bit of a before and after situation. So go ahead, Cathy.
Well, I had a complete hysterectomy when I was 35 years old. And I was a farm wife. And so I was active, very busy, had two boys. And as I got older, then I ended up having two breast surgeries. And after the hysterectomy, I was put on estrogen replacement therapy. It took 2 years to get regulated because they had tried probably 10 to 15 different types of estrogen replacement because I had severe side effects from all of them, ranging from headaches to retaining water to you name it, I had it. And then I had my breast surgeries, and they said it was from the estrogen replacement, took me off and threw me into very severe menopause, where I had hot flashes. I was sweating profusely. In the hospital, they said they had never seen anybody like me with that. And so they did put me back on estrogen. And anyway, as the years progressed, I got worse. I was actually seeing a nurse practitioner, and I was not sleeping. I was up about every hour, hour and a half. I was very stiff, moody. Actually, my nurse practitioner told me that I was like a 95-year-old woman. And she knew what I needed, but she couldn't give me what I needed and referred me to Dr. Bonnet. And Dr. Bonnet and I have gone through Zoom since she's in Pella and I'm in the Quad Cities. And she ordered a saliva hormone test for me to find out I was basically depleted in all my hormones, everything. And she got me going on biosterol, progesterone, DHEA, got me going on vitamin D3, K2, vitamin C. And I have to say, Dr. Bennett, maybe you can help me, but I think within the first 6 months, I started seeing a change and improving. And of course, she does a follow-up and did a few adjustments. And I am now going to be 71, and I feel like I'm in my 50s. I've
Wow.
got a lot of energy. I am sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. And I just got done with 2 knee replacements this last fall. And now that I'm off all the blood thinners and all the medication that they had me on post-surgery, I can now say I'm 4 or 5 months post-surgery, both knees. I now feel I'm back to normal. And I just want other women that if you feel that something's not right and you're not sleeping and you're irritable and you're crying. I mean, I could just cry every minute of the day and I didn't know what was going on. Have your hormones checked. through saliva, not the blood, through the saliva. And I hope and I pray that if you are going through what I went through, that you can get on a regimen, get your hormones in balance, and you can live your life to the best that God wants you to be.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story with people. Because I think that, when I saw you the first time and you came in and you had a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, and, just you were sore and never felt rested, and, you weren't getting restorative sleep. And, you could pinpoint, I'm sure, going back, that day that you had your hysterectomy and your hormones, became imbalanced from that point. And, you spent decades in hormonal imbalance or low hormone levels. And it's just, I feel like it's almost miraculous, the response that people can get, when they have hormonal balance, and their cells are able to respond to safe amounts, which are really low amounts of hormones. We don't need very much to have the ideal response. And I think when you said that when you were on estrogen and you had headaches and you didn't have a good response, to hormone replacement when it was done at the beginning, it's because you were only looking at one hormone, estrogen. You were probably, a lot of those, forms were oral estrogen, which is not ideal, and they weren't balanced with natural progesterone, and your testosterone and DHEA were never addressed. And so it's like you have to look at everything all together to get a really, really good response. But I think there's, your story, being almost 71 years old and really feeling better than you have for decades. I think that it should give people hope. It should give women hope that that you can feel better and you can live a healthier life and have more energy and more joy. And I want to, to help women, have the kind of outcome that you've had, Cathy.
Mhm.
Anyway.
I know growing up, I always had irregular periods, severe. And when I was 17, what did they do? They put me on birth control and to try and help regulate me and to lessen the flow because it was so heavy. And I was on that for 20 years.
Yeah. And I think that's that some women like yourself and many, many women go through their entire lives with, maybe never really being in hormonal balance, or maybe just having short periods of time when their hormones are balanced. And unfortunately, you will not get hormonal balance with a birth control pill. It doesn't have, you don't have balanced hormones with birth control pills. And they can lead to, some people are on birth control pills and they are helpful. Maybe their periods are lighter, maybe they have less acne, maybe they need birth control, but you're still not going to have balanced periods or balanced hormones. And I think there are safer ways to get your hormones in balance that have less adverse effects. So anyway, I want to like specifically look at women who are in their 40s and 50s and, maybe 60s and feel like they're hopeless almost, because where do they go to get help? They go to their doctors and, they're put on a sleeping medication or an antidepressant because, they feel like garbage and they're not getting help. And so I want you to know that, work with somebody who is an expert in hormones, who's had advanced training, and keep looking until you can find that person that can really, really help you. And I think Cathy would tell you that I can help you.
Yes, you can. Very much. And
Anyway,
every year annually, we go through and we do the saliva test just to make sure if there's any minor tweaking,
yeah.
and do the adjustment, and it'll change your life. Thank you, Dr.
Right.
Bennett.
And another, thank you, Cathy. But and another thing Cathy has spent, we have spent about once a week together, and we have had regular information visits, classes on a wide range of topics. So there's a few ways you can work with me if you can't find somebody else that can help you with your hormones. You can work with me one-on-one, and you can make an appointment, using the link on my page. I'm starting something different where I'm doing an intensive 12-week program with people, because I want women to I want them to understand their hormones so well that when they go to their doctor and they're told, oh, you've been on hormones for a whole year, you better get off so you don't get cancer. I want them to understand how you can stay on hormones for longer than a year while actually decreasing your risk of getting cancer, because your immune system is working better, you're sleeping better, your whole body is functioning better. So you can actually reduce your risk of cancer on your hormones. And yeah, I want women to understand their hormones so they can get a really good permanent, lifetime of better hormonal health. And so that's the second way, is you can take my group coaching program, which is right now it's going to be a 12-week program starting as soon as possible. And the third way is a weekly sessions that Cathy and I have been having, for quite a while. And we've talked about,
this is her notes.
Right. We have talked about, I have 60 videos. We have talked about anxiety, depression. We've had several sessions on what sleep is, how to sleep better. We have talked about how to have a healthier immune system. How do we fight off viruses? We've talked about, what else have we talked about, Cathy?
Mammograms.
We've talked about mammograms. We've talked about, yeah. We've talked about so much, 60 different topics we've had. And so I'll have more information about how to sign up. That's going to be in a group. I think I'm going to use Circle for that. And so there'll be information on how to sign up for that small group. And that is just starting right now. So I'm telling Cathy for the first time, we're switching over. I was on Mighty Networks. We're going to Circle, and we're going to start a group, and we're going to try to grow that group and have a community where we can all learn stuff together for better health. So anyway, thanks for listening, and thank you, Cathy, for telling your story. You really have, you're an inspiration to me, because it's just so rewarding to help somebody live a healthier life. And so I just thank you for being not only available to tell your story, but also listening and taking notes and taking advice. Not everybody does that. So it's been, yeah.
I can't imagine where I'd be without working with you and getting my hormones balanced. I just can't imagine where I'd be.
You think about, there's kind of a downhill spiral that happens if we don't do anything to improve our health. It seems like there's kind of a downhill spiral that happens. And, none of us are going to live forever, nor do we want to, but we want to be as healthy as we can be for the time that we have. We want to maximize the time that we have, but we mostly want to maximize the health that we have, in the time that we have left. And, I think that hormonal balance is just vital for having that healthy time left. So anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you later.